Assalamu alaikum. I hope everybody is doing well. This is Ahmed Khan. So the topic of presentation is compaction of soil and equipment used for the compaction of the soil. So before dive deep into that, first let me introduce my fellows who has worked on this project as a team. So we are four in total. We have Mr. Kashif Khan, Ms. Salima Dawood, and Mr. Umair. So the topic is divided into two parts. The first part is compaction of the soil, and the second part is the equipment used for the compaction of the soil. So let's learn about the compaction of the soil. So compaction of the soil is a mechanical process of decreasing volume of the soil by expulsion of air voids, which results in increasing the density. So the question is, why do we compact? There are few reasons for which we do compaction. So the first one is to increase the shear strength of the soil. The second one is to increase the slope stability. The third one is to decrease permeability of the soil. We do not want any undesirable settlement of the structures of the building. Structures may be bridges, buildings, especially buildings and bridges. And we do not want to control undesirable volume change. And volume change is always occurs when we increase the weight of the building. So we do not want any settlement. So the second part is the equipment used for the compaction of the soil. In the field, different types of equipment have employed totally depending on the type of the soil, particle size of the soil, and the water content of the soil. Water content of the soil. So a few of them will be discussed here in a detail. So the first one is smooth wheel roller. As it's clear from the name, smooth wheel roller uses a very large steel drum on the front side and one or two steel drums or wheels on the rear side. So it is either two wheels roller or three wheel rollers. So what is the purpose of using it? It is preferably used for coarser materials. It may be basalt, gravels. It is also used for the pavement of the concrete, pavement of the roads. That is of course the bitumen's pavement of the roads. So what are the advantages? So since it do not use any kind of vibrator, so it is cheap to buy, it is cheap to purchase, and also it is cheap to do work with it. Since it uses very limited fuels. So here is few pictures. So this is the two-wheel roller, and this is the three-wheel roller. So the second type of roller, that is pneumatic roller. It is also called rubber tired roller. It is a very large. It is a kind of very large roller that uses rows of tires on the front end and as well as on the rear side. So it covers 80% of the area and gives us very smooth and uniform pressure on that width of the area. So what are the purposes of using this kind of roller? It is preferably used for fine materials, that is loose soil layers, cool lead bitumens. So what are the advantages? It is really used. It is very convenient to operate. It gives a very comfort driving experience, and it is also gives a very good and air quality of the work. So now that's from my side. Now I would invite Mr. Umair to come forward and proceed further.
Well, thank you, Ahmad Khan, for inviting me. Myself, Mohammad Umair, and today I'm going to talk about the sheep foot rollers. So first of all, sheep foot rollers are also known as pad foot rollers or temping rollers because of their plates on the legs can be moved and can be used as a rollers and pads, which have many rectangular shaped legs or feet. Here is the picture also. You can see that there are different types of legs or pins. You can see here different sizes and different types of foots you can see. So they are basically used for compacting soils in embankments and roads, and normally we use them for compaction of soil. history. So normally this is a theme behind this, that Walter Gillett, he was a contractor and he was compacting soil somewhere in America in 1906. So he got tied up, and next morning he was shocked to see that his job was done by a flock of sheep. From there he got the basic idea of having sheep foot rollers. But later on in 1930 in California, Paul Newman first time used them in San Gabriel Dam. This was the largest rockfill dam in the world. So after that we are having three types based upon their configurations. The first one is ordinary rollers, and the second one is convertible rollers, and third one is turn foot sheep rollers. So in ordinary rollers, these plates are fixed and the distance between foots are also fixed. While in second convertible, you can remove these plates or pads and can be used as a smooth roller. So this is actually advantage of them. And in this turn foot rollers, the distance between them can be adjustable. So this is the difference between them as it comes. Next, we are concerned about specifications. So, just like other rulers, they can compact contact pressure of 1400 to 7000 miles per hour, which is very heavy as compared to other rulers. And speed of work is actually 6 to 10 km/h is very good for compacting size. And center to center distance between foots is actually 100 to 200 mm. And basically it is a steel drum on which projections are mounted, so you can increase its weight by adding soil or other fill material. And after that talking about the working, so first of all they are only capable of compacting dense soils, the soils which more moisture contents. If you are compacting a soil which is normally sandy soil, so it will not work because instead of compacting it will start tilling. And in sheep foot rulers provide pin, just like a pin pressing pin, they provide pinpoint contact and hoof-like structure. Hoof-like structure is just like we can say the footprints of animals. And as already told you that by increasing we can increase their weight, drum weight, by adding some filling material like sand. So because of that, we can get a minimum thickness of 50 mm, but it is the limit, it should not be less than that. Thanks. After that, we are having some advantages and disadvantages. So let's talk about the advantages first. So good for compacting plastic soil, so they are not capable of compacting sandy soils. Next is they can be used as a roller. I already told you that if we remove that plate, so can be used as static rollers. Depth and weight of the compaction can also be changed. Depth can be changed by increasing the depth of foot, and for immediate compaction we can also use them. And weight can be increased by adding some filling material more and more. Disadvantage, because of few variations in the design, we are having some disadvantages as well. So they are, first of all, they are not compacting loose or sandy soils. So loose or sandy soils, because the reason is that they have low moisture content. So because of low moisture content, because they, instead of compacting the soil, they start tilling. And in wet conditions, they use if the moisture content is low, you cannot use them. And at the end, layer thickness should be minimum. It's also a limit. And if we fill the drum with some material, so it can also increase the pressure. And experienced labor is also required. It is also, we can say that it is a disadvantage because of not everyone's cup of tea you can use that. After that, we are having vibrating and smooth rollers. So it's all from my side. Now I will invite Miss Alina Daud for proceeding further.
Stop this.